Thank you, Mr. Chair. My first question is to Mr. Baker. So, Mr. Baker, you noted in your testimony that 100% of Alaska's rail is short line rail. Alaskans have long sought a rail connection that would tie Alaska to the rest of the North American rail network. In your view, what steps should we consider to support such a connection?
That's a fabulous question. The current route of connecting is quite elaborate. It involves ferries and is not sort of realistic for where I think you would like to take the state and the country. A project like that is really a mega grant, and so I think it would be important for Congress to continue grant programs like Infra and RAISE and MEGA that really contemplate some of these, maybe not quite moonshot, but big deal infrastructure programs. There are a lot of short line projects, including some on the existing Alaska Railroad infrastructure where $5 or $10 or $20 million can really move the dial, and we do a lot of those, and we're very proud of that. A project like you're talking about is sort of exponentially more than that, and I do think that the country and the people of the country have appetite for that sort of thing, and the project you're talking about is a great example. I'd be thrilled to support it.
Thank you. This is a question for Mr. Jeffries. Mr. Jeffries, in your testimony, you mentioned that in real terms, inflation-adjusted real terms, costs of moving freight on rail have declined by 42% since 1980. Do you have any information, and if not, could you at some future time provide this committee with information on what has happened to the cost of new rail construction over that same period of time? Has that also trended down, or has that gone up in real terms?
I wish. Unfortunately, no, it hasn't, due to cost of materials, due to inflationary pressures, as every other industry is seeing. And if I could be so bold, I would expect my colleague, Mr. DeLazio, can comment on it a little more sophisticatedly than I might be able to.
No, definitely. Thank you, Congressman. Thank you, Ian. So material pricing has gone up, labor pricing has gone up, equipment pricing, everything has gone up almost exponentially. And we talked earlier about the grant time process, about these grants. So a lot of times contractors and our consulting engineer members are involved in the initial stages of putting together budget pricing for some of these grants. And we do that with good faith, hoping, that they're gonna escalate maybe a year out. And then we get a call 3 years later that, hey, the grant got approved, and the price now is a third of what it should be. So yes, to answer your question, we see that continually going up.
Then this is a question for anyone who might have an answer to it. Do you have any suggestions on how we can drive down the cost of new rail construction?
Not to hit on the same theme, but I would say, getting projects approved more quickly to allow the money to be put in the ground more quickly, not to circumvent any appropriate reviews, but let's just put some certainty into the process so that the money you have now is used and you don't need twice as much 10 years from now when the project's approved.
Just to chime in there, so I think, with new technologies, especially on the contracting side, whether it's new tools, new equipment that's helping us be more efficient and be able to build track faster, that definitely is a way to lower the costs.
Very good. And does anyone here today know how the Tier 1 network was originally financed? Was it government grants? Was it private money?
The ultimate public-private partnership.
Okay. I think it's fantastic that we're hearing about high-speed rail that goes 200 miles an hour. It's great for passengers. There's a lot of innovation on the freight side. Let's connect Alaska to the North American rail network so that we can be a part of this same success story. Thank you, and I yield back.